Ay, look. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look, Papa don't preach, teachers don't teach. Gon' reach, that's facts. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm making that cash stack. Bunch of O's like NASCAR, but it's really more like NASDAQ. Why they thinking that they hot when they really more like quarter on me like a referee? Hating what they'll never be. Small top with a big bottom, yeah, shorty shaped like a letter D. Let her have it, then I let her be. If you love it, gotta let it grow. Crazy cause you really never know. When I'm hurting, never let it show. I'm a two-tone, two-phone, two-chain, new thing, lane whipper. You a broke, low class, no cash, certified lame. I've been getting to it like I ought to. Couldn't pick, so I bought two. Understand why your chick came, I'm just trying to figure why she brought you. I'm really reppin' and I'm flexed up, and I ain't gotta tell him I'm next up. Sleep on the they rest up, but I'm up and I'm getting my checks up. Me and the fellas be high as propellers, ain't could tell us we great. Looking at like how do you figure unless you could talk about 8 figures. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look how we litty, we turned up the city, we raising the bar height. I been finessing, just look at them stressing, yeah, they been up all night. Sipping this water with somebody's daughter, she take what I taught her and build on it. Came in this game on that today, ain't in a couple years later, we still on it. Be hating on it, be waiting on it like a new season. I bet an acre on it, I put some paper on it like I'm loose leafing. Buying them assets, build me a cash net I could fall in. Look at my last bet, ain't got a tiptoe, I'm all in. Think on a level that can't fail, and I roll me a J with the hate mail. Been doing good on the merch sale, all this bread on me look like a bake sale. Tell her your was really good, I be really good on a jaw jack. Send an email about the bread, I'ma hit you back with the call back. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. the type of shit that only winners can. Call me Mr. Long Schlong, itchy in the hand. Bitch, I been a man, moving like a businessman. Mobbing Dolo, probably canceling our dinner plan. Keep my lungs full of gas with some gold on my collar. Acting stingy with these Benjis, ho, I need every dollar. Got a Dutchie full of spice and a Spice Girl choosing. Got 'em mad at the guard cause they product ain't moving. I been heavy stepping on them like a triple chin, ho. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? Please come again, ho. Niggas steady playing games, but they never win, no. Scoring every time I touch down like the end zone. Told them I cannot apologize, I keep it bug 50. My beginning came from winning, you ain't gotta fuck with me. I'm the top tier shotter, this is not for the Elo. Putting coochie on my face and putting ops in my relo. Throwing hands at your public school, sound like me. Probably smash away your cousin too, sound like me. Bending corners while I'm bending rules, sound like me. All that shit you talking, it ain't nothing new. Tell them put it in my hand with no lip service. Ho, I been a man, bitch, I been working. Put it in my hand with no lip service. Ho, I been a man, got my wrist working. Ayy, levitating only like a legend can. All my shit be slapping like 11 hands. Got 'em playing catch up, they in last place. Serving niggas dust, it's like a drag race. Dummy think he winning, made me Ellen Mayo. I'm with my yellow bone mommy, whip color mayo. And while you on your way to clocking, on my way to Caicos. I know that all you do is hate, that's all you had to say though. I give not a single fuck how you feel to be real. They been bluffing, they don't know just how it feel to be real. Pulling weight for the squad, winning at the tug of war. He ain't put you on no game, shout it what you fuck him for. Nothing less and nothing more than the illest nigga in it. Bending corners on my pivot, doing donuts, doing digits. Got my hoodie, cushions in it, I'm a motherfucking legend. Used to pick her up at 7, had her back around 11. Throwing hands at your public school, sound like me. Probably smash away your cousin too, sound like me. Bending corners while I'm bending rules, sound like me. All that shit you talking, it ain't nothing new. Tell them put it in my hand with no lip service. Ho, I been a man, bitch, I been working. Put it in my hand with no lip service. Ho, I been a man, got my wrist working.
Come on in, hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. What is going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing on this lovely Sunday evening? I see Kelvin in the building, Kenny, Dallas, Texas. So we got two from Texas at the top. Aaron Dunbar, spoken, representing Michigan. Dunbeezy, what's going on? Devontae Smalls, representing Florida. Shout out to Pippi and all the moderators. I see SD Walt, Big Herm, representing Louisiana. What else we got? C. Simmons, Atlanta in the building. Big Herm, what's going on? Mark Brown, what's going on? J. Cole, what's up? Big Herm, Weird But Not, representing the MI. Yayo, what is going on? Tonight we're going to talk about what it takes. A lot of people don't know what it takes, I don't think. I'm going to tell you what it takes. I'm going to tell you what it takes, not what it takes, but what to expect. What to expect. All right. So for the people who are looking to come in, and for the people who are in, who may be having a lot of not seeing or not being able to reach the goals that they're trying to reach, trying to figure it out, I'm going to tell you what you need to expect. All right. And maybe based on what I'm telling you, you can probably figure things out. And for the people who haven't come in, this may scare the hell out of you. You may not want to come in this business after we have this conversation that we're about to have here tonight, because I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to give it to you raw. I'm going to give it to you uncut, and I'm going to give it to you from experience. All right. I'm giving it to you from experience. I'm not up here telling you some things because I want you to buy in to, the content or me as a As a creator, I'm giving you the real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna waste no time. I'm gonna get straight into it because I'm gonna try to. And I know I say this all the time, and sometimes it works out for me, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna try to be out of here in an hour and 15 minutes because I want to watch the latest episode of Power. I want to watch the latest episode of Power. So we finna get straight to it. Hope everybody's doing good. Creator about to do a little straightening tonight. Yeah, just a little straightening. We're gonna get you together tonight because I think a lot of people don't know what to expect, and a lot of people that's in it now, they're not putting their best foot forward, and this is why they're not seeing some success. This is why some people aren't seeing some success. So let's get straight into it. We ain't gonna waste no time. So listen, we're gonna go through a few bullet points. I did put a PowerPoint together because I need some notes to go off of. So I put my PowerPoint together. I haven't done me a PowerPoint in a while, so I took the time to do a PowerPoint. All right, so come on in, hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. All right, first thing, high levels of responsibility. A lot of responsibility. All right, when I say a lot, I mean a lot. All right, if you are not a person who's willing to take on high levels of responsibility, do me a favor. Go on Indeed and go find you a job. Go find you a job because you are going to be consumed with a lot of responsibilities. I say it all the time. You want to start a business, a box truck business, or a cargo van business, or any business for that matter. It doesn't even have to be in logistics. You want to start a business, you're going to be faced with a lot of responsibilities. The decision making, everything is up to you. You listen to a lot of Rick Ross. You hear him use the word boss a lot. So you wanted to become a boss because you looked at Rick Ross. You saw the big mansion down in Atlanta. You saw the 100,000 cars that he got parked in the front lawn, and you hear him implant this word boss in your head, and you want to mimic that success, right? So it comes with a lot of responsibility. Entrepreneurs often carry significant responsibility for the success and stability of their business. The weight of decision-making, accountability can be stressful, and it is really stressful. Really, really stressful. I always say it. Your biggest job is going to be problem solving, decision making. Trust me, I've been faced with just problems. You know, got a call one day from a logistics company. One of my drivers backed into a loading dock. He didn't check the clearance. It was a lower clearance than what the truck was, and he damaged the awning. Right? Damaged the awning. Here comes the logistics company calling me. You know, I think I was having a good day up until that call because the branch manager called me very aggressively, hollering at the phone because that building hit them with a bill. So instead of him just coming to me, hitting me with the bill, he wanted to call the office. The call got to me yelling, talking about $55,000 claim. Now, granted, we got insurance, and I played it cool. You know what I'm saying? Well, I played it cool as far as the claim, but I didn't appreciate the way he was talking to me. So, you know, I had to stick my chest out over the phone, and I tell him, man, first of all, you need to, you know, lower your tone. You know, it's another man on the other side of this phone. You dig what I'm saying? So whatever happened. We can get to the bottom of that. But the way you're going to talk to me with some respect. The back of my head, I'm like, God damn, 55,000. You dig what I'm saying? That was a problem. It was a problem that was wrecking my brain from the moment he said it, after I got off the phone with him, to the problem was rectified. You know, that was an issue. I've had trucks stuck in snow. I've had a guy sideswipe cars before and then not say nothing. And then the neighbor called it and called the office. All types of things. Non-compete, drivers trying to steal accounts and leave with the account, going to trying to get the account that they running for me, trying to get it for themselves. Problems every single day. Rectified payment issues, dealing with people who don't understand business, that want to sit up there and try to tell me how to run my business. Dealing with the day-to-day of the business. payroll, making sure payroll gets to the accountant on time so that they can overnight the checks to my office so that I can pass them out on Friday. Going back and forth with my brother because he don't understand, look, this ain't the street. So, if I need you to come down on some guys, you got to come down on some guys. And then the guy I got there being the enforcer, he coming down on people too hard. He smacking cats, problems. You dealing with problems. Truck getting an accident, getting trying to blackball me to sue me. Wasn't nothing wrong with him in the accident. Trying to shake me down. These are the problems that come with running a business. These are the problems that come with running a business. The landlord don't want to get the grass cut, don't want to get the snow plowed. So I got to find a company to come out and plow the snow. Of course, they're going to take it out my rent, but that was not something that I thought that I would have to do. Problems. Blizzard of 2015, can't even get in the yard. 2-3 feet of snow, problems. How much you think it costs to get that plowed? Took a day and a half to plow the whole yard. These are problems. These are issues that a business person has to deal with. These responsibilities are placed on the business owner. The complaints, the daily complaints, people not wanting to work with people that they're paired up with. You got 2-3 guys on the truck, whether they moving or doing final mile delivery. So that's a lot of testosterone. Being a mediator amongst teams. Select calling me. They don't want to talk to Genesis, don't want to talk to Telly, don't want to talk to the people that I have in place. Everybody want to talk to Mark. Responsibility. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You want the crown, you want to wear it. These are the responsibilities that come with it. 2-3 cell phones, all of them ringing. Emails, everybody want to answer right now. And this is for the people who want to scale. This is what scaling sounds like. This is what multiple trucks on the road sound like. Every day, I can guarantee you that every day you're going to have at least one problem. It may not be a big problem. It may be a small problem, but I can guarantee you one thing. Every day there's going to be a problem and you're going to have to find a solution. It may not be a problem that needs to be resolved right then and there at that moment. And those are the worst problems because you know why? Because you take those problems home with you. If you can't solve it at that moment, that day before you leave the office, you take that problem home with you. While you at home in the shower, your brain is thinking about that problem. When you sitting down at the dinner table eating, you thinking about that problem. When you lay down at night to shut your eyes, when you shut your eyes, you laying in the bed thinking about that problem. Because it has to be solved. And you trying to figure out a solution so that you can solve it the next day. The only moment of peace you get as a business owner is when you do close your eyes and your body does go to sleep. Then you at peace unless you start dreaming about the problem. Because then when you wake up, guess what? The problem is back on your mind. You get up, you go brush your teeth, you thinking about that problem because it got to get solved when you go in. You washing your face, you taking the shower, that problem, the drive in, you thinking about that problem because it's got to get solved. You don't have nobody to look to. It's on you. This is what you signed up for. And I know a lot of people can't handle that type of stress. And I know that based off people that I talk to in this box truck business. People can't even handle simple things with a box truck. Well, you want to tell me you want to scale? What would you do If you get a call from T-Force or R&L and they call you, say, hey, your driver backed into a dock. He wasn't paying attention. The whole damn awning came off. It failed, and they talking about $55,000. I can tell you one thing, you definitely gonna have to file a claim. That's not something that's gonna come out your pocket. The insurance company, if they pay it, if you got good insurance, they gonna pay it. So you need to tell your broker to start looking for somebody else, because if they pay it, they definitely gonna drop you. You could cancel Christmas on that. You're out of there. Now that becomes another problem, because now your broker got to get to work. That's a problem. That's not something that you're gonna be like, oh, okay, we got insurance. Even still, that's a problem. You got to deal with the driver. You got to figure out, do you let him go? Do you keep him? You got to investigate it. Was he drunk? Was he high? Was he stupid? Is he retarded? Did you miss the fact that this guy's retarded? I know what it's like to get a roof peeled back like a goddamn sardine can. I could tell you. Matter of fact, I'm going to say that for Box Truck Stories episode 2. I'm going to tell you about the first truck that the roof got peeled back like a goddamn sardine can. Imagine that call. I'm going to tell you, because that was an interesting call that morning, because I was somewhere where I had no business being that morning. But I'm going to tell you about that. That's going to be a good one. But the problem had to be solved. A lot of responsibilities with being a business owner. A lot of responsibilities. You know, you don't have that boss or that upper management to turn to. You can't punch out and go home like, oh, ain't my problem. They're going to have to figure that out. No, it's on you. It's on you. All right? So high levels of responsibility. Long hours and intense workload. Building and running a business can require long hours and intense effort, especially in the early stages. Some entrepreneurs may find it challenging to balance work and personal life. All right? This is something that I think a lot of the OTR guys struggle with. I hear Final Mile guys talk about it too, maybe the 13 or 14 hours, but this is also what you signed up with. If no one told you, I'm going to tell you right now, being an owner, being an entrepreneur, being a boss requires long, extended hours. You are the first person to work and you are the last person to leave. This is what it takes. This is what's required. This is what's required to gain success. This is what's required to maintain the success. Long hours, a lot of sacrifice, intense workload, whether it be mentally, whether it be physically, or whether it be a combination of both. Remember, no one put a pistola to your head and said, hey, you got to become an entrepreneur. No one did that. What you hear on the internet about the good life, you know, being an entrepreneur provides a good life. It does. But it comes with an extreme amount of work. More work than you will ever do working for somebody else or for a corporation. More work. Sometimes more work for less pay. Oh, yeah. See, a lot of people ain't going to tell you this because they don't know. They just on the internet trying to sell you content. And they haven't really done it, or they're not deep in it to be able to present you a vast amount of content from experience. There's going to be times as an entrepreneur where you're going to put in extremely long hours for less or no money at all. Sometimes you're going to wish like, damn, I'm working hard. At least if I go work a job, I'm going to get paid more, and I'm only going to have to go punch in from 9 to 5. That's part of the sacrifice. Gets greater later. And that's just the truth. That's the truth. I could tell you plenty of times where I came up short. It happens. It's business. I've had good years. I've had bad years. I've had peaks. I've had valleys. This is what's required. Long hours. Being at that yard at 5 in the morning, not leaving till 1 in the morning. Brother calling me, damn, you still at the yard? Mama calling me, where you at? You still at the yard? Still here in the office. Why you still there? Stuck. Sometimes I'd just be so stuck, I was too tired to drive home. Just stuck. Office got a leather sofa, a futon, big screen TV mounted on the wall, 4 screens. I sometimes I spent half the night in the office. Make sure the gates locked. Put whatever vehicle I was driving that day in the warehouse so would nobody know that I was there. And I go to sleep with my pistol on my chest, tucked under the futon. Too tired to drive, too mentally drained. Didn't feel like going out the office, locking up, opening the gate, closing the gate, getting out, closing, all that. Didn't feel like doing it. Just mentally stuck from just being there long hours and having to deal with whatever came. Man, I got so many stories. I had a driver get into an accident with a goddamn on-duty U.S. Marine. So you already know when the state trooper pulled up whose side he was going to take. And he was in uniform. He was a reserve. He was a Marine or Army reserve, but he was in uniform. Imagine what was going through my head at that time. Long hours, heavy workload. You would think I was I was in college because I would come to work every day. I didn't have a briefcase. I had a book bag. So I had everything in a book bag. You would think I had 4 or 5 books and history books in my book bag. Work, taking work home with me, bringing it back to work, to the office. Setting a plan of things that I needed to accomplish every single day and not being able to accomplish everything because I'm getting sidetracked and thrown off because so much stuff is going on and I have to prioritize things if something pops up that's more pressing, which makes the day even longer. See, this is what they can't tell you this stuff because they ain't been through it. Getting big, face getting big, belly getting big. Why? Can't get home early enough to cook a meal. Got a DoorDash and Uber Eats on the way home to make sure that they dropping the food off as I pull up. So I'm eating fast food, too tired, falling asleep, standing up in the shower. Getting out the shower after that hot water hit your body and then relax you even further than you was already tired. You see all these lights on, office light, the other bathroom, all the bathroom, this bathroom, that bathroom, the living room, the bedroom you in. You too lazy to turn the goddamn lights off. Going to sleep, just seeing as soon as you got the shower, you just fall straight into bed. Too lazy to turn the lights off. It got to the point where I had to go get the hey Siri, turn the bedroom light off. Hey Siri, turn this light off. Hey Siri, turn that light off. Or I could grab my phone and turn the lights off because I was too lazy to walk around. And at that time, them bulbs, that technology was new, so them bulbs was $30, $40 a bulb. Had to change the whole house around for that reason. Kept falling asleep with all the damn lights on. I remember I would come home so goddamn tired, I'd turn the shower on and fall asleep before I got in the shower. 3-4 hours later, I wake up, didn't turn the damn fan on, the whole master bathroom steamy. Didn't turn the fan on, the water just been running and running, shower just running. Facts. This is what entrepreneurship, this is what it's like. Oh yeah, on the drive home and the drive to work, I got a few different vehicles that I could choose. All slicker than oil. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good, but it's a reason why I'm looking good. It's a reason why I could pull $120,000 up in that yard. This is what it takes. You get to a certain level, a lot of responsibility, a lot of bills. A lot of bills. So long hours. If you're running OTI and you're not willing to stay away for long periods of time to make sure that you can maximize your profitability, if you're running final mile, it's going to be days you're going to have to put in 14, 16-hour days. It's going to be days where you feel like, yo, this day wasn't worth it. It's going to be days like that. This day wasn't worth it. We've been working 14, 15 hours. When I divide that into what we made, this wasn't worth it. It's going to be days like that because one stop may prolong your day. It's a part of being an entrepreneur or an owner-operator. If you was working for an owner-operator doing final mile, or if you was working for an owner-operator driving their truck, whatever loss they assume, it would be on them. And you would be like, well, shoot, I just work. That ain't on me. Glad that ain't on me. But when the shoe is on the other foot, when you are the business owner, responsibility is on you. Long hours. Very long hours. If you're not working long hours, especially at the beginning in the building process, and I'm not just talking the work, whether it's mental work, if you scaled up and you running a fleet of trucks, or you're out there doing the physical work yourself as being an owner operator, even still when you come home, especially at the beginning, when I was not out in the field, before I had the office and everything, once we were done with those moves, it didn't matter what time I got in. I still had to look and prepare myself for the next day. I still had to post more ads and market my business so that I could get more consumers in. I had to take that time to market myself so that money would still keep coming in. So if it's a full day when I'm out doing 2-3 moves, I can answer as many calls as I can and respond to as many emails or text messages or whatever it is that I can. But if I'm out in the field, there's only so much that I could do. If I could take some time in between, but the bulk of that work is done at the end of the day once you get home, right? So it could be an 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock day. I still got to respond to all that stuff because I have to make sure business is coming in. I can't ignore that stuff. So the day is not over yet. I got to go home and deal with the paper shuffle, the emails, responding to people. Even when you scaled up, response time. Yeah, okay, boom. I got an office. I got X amount of trucks. I'm at home. It's 9 o'clock, but people are emailing, trying to book moves. Do I wait and hold that off to tomorrow, or do I go ahead and respond at 9, 10 o'clock at night? You know how many customers will tell you, whoa, man, I didn't expect to get a response this late. I was just up looking. I realized I got to hire movers for the 1st of August. So I went to your website and I put an inquiry in, and they expected to get a response the next day or the day after that, because once they put the inquiry in, it says somebody will reach out to you within 24 to 48 hours. If I'm sitting on the couch, or if I'm just stuck sitting at the damn kitchen island after I done ate and I'm just stuck, or if I'm laying in the bed, I'm scrolling on my phone and it comes through, I'm responding right away. Why? Because the early bird gets the worm. Do I think that I'm the only guy that they reaching out to for an estimate? No. But guess what? If somebody reaches out to me for an estimate at 10 o'clock and I just happen to see it come through and I respond, customers like that because they're not expecting to get a response that late. So to be able to communicate and go back and forth, it's very impressive. I'm not the type of guy that's going to wait till the next day. Oh, these ain't business hours. No, if I'm available and the phone is in my hand, I'm responding. Or if I'm sitting at the computer, I'm responding. I responded to inquiries at 1, 2 in the morning. It don't stop. It don't stop. And this is why I go back and I talk about that monster. Man, I've been in the middle of some adult activities and I've stopped and picked up the phone for customers and responded some stuff. Think I haven't. I've been out the country on romantic getaways, taking care of business back here in the States. Don't stop. It don't stop. It's the life I chose. Financial uncertainty. Entrepreneurship can involve financial instability, especially in the initial phases. The unpredictability of income and the need to invest resources into the business can be a source of stress. This is where a lot of people get messed up at. Hit that like button too. That like button. Financial instability, a lot of uncertainty, especially at the beginning. A lot of people are unsure on how their business is going to turn out. They don't know where to get the money from and how to finance the business. And that's stressful to a lot of people. Or they borrow money and they have it looming over their head that they got to pay this money back, and they're not sure on what the success of the business is going to be. Financial uncertainty can really push a person's stress level to the next level. This is something that comes with entrepreneurship. You're going to always be stressed out. Always. 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 Especially as a small business owner, because so much falls on you. It's not like your Amazons or your Googles. Those CEOs, those founders, Jeff Bezos, that company makes so much money that they have the money to put people into certain places to relieve the higher ups from so much stress. They delegate responsibilities. What's the CEO of Amazon? Is it Jassy, Andy Jassy, or whatever his name, something Jassy? He's probably more stressed out than Jeff. Why do you think Jeff stepped down from CEO? Because the company is running like a well-oiled machine now. I can hop on a few calls in the morning, respond to a few emails, and the day is done. He's selling in goddamn Santa Marini or whatever the hell that is. That yacht. He handling business from a $500 million yacht. That don't sound like stress to me. He chilling. That's why you delegate the authority. You delegate tasks to other people when you making that type of money. But when you a small business owner that's getting it from the mud, no, it all falls on you. Why? Because you don't have the resources or the capital, right, to put somebody in a position where you're going to pay them enough money to handle all that stress. So you got to take on that hat. You got to wear that hat along with a bunch of other hats. Money and financial uncertainty can really, 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 man, I'm telling you, if you're a sickly person, with all that type of stress, it can be detrimental, man. It can be very detrimental. Pressure to succeed. Entrepreneurs may feel pressure to succeed either from themselves, investors, or other stakeholders. This pressure can create anxiety and impact on job satisfaction. Goes back to what the previous slide said. You go to a bank. Well, let's say you get an investment. You got a homie or a uncle who has some money, makes you sign a contract. Or let's say you go to the bank. You take out a personal loan, right, to fund your business. Now that pressure of paying back that loan, because now you got a monthly bill that you got to pay the bank back. So you taking that money, investing in that business, and now you don't know. It's a 50% chance that business is going to succeed. It's a 50% chance the business is not going to succeed. All that pressure is on you because you done took out this personal loan to fund this box truck business because you heard Bandman Cavo tell you you can go get a box truck. You can go do 10 moves a day starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. From 8 o'clock in the morning, you should be able to do 10 moves a day, and one box truck is going to make you $1 million. You heard Bandman Cavo say that, so you went and took out a personal loan. And you seeing it ain't that sweet. But you done took out this personal loan. So now you got this pressure on you. You got anxiety now because you got to pay the bank back. They a stakeholder in your business. They're an investor in your business. They need this. You know you had to put up some collateral. What you put up for collateral? We already know what you put up. I don't need to say it. We know what you put up. Now that's stressing you out. Now you might be homeless. We know what you put up. Or you know, refine, you know, took out some equity out your crib. Oh man, that stress killing you now because now you done got this box truck and it ain't what you thought it was going to be. So now you got all this pressure on you to make it. More stress you adding to yourself. This is what entrepreneurship comes with. Now, me personally, I'm not that type of entrepreneur. I'm not doing that. I tell you what you should do. You should grassroot it. Start from the bottom. Start with what you have and work your way up from there. But there's a lot of people that we know that we've come across and we've heard these stories over the past year and a half since I've been on YouTube that came into the space prior to me coming on YouTube, that came in during the height of the pandemic, 2020, mostly 2021, that are in this position to this day, whether they're still in this position with the pressure to succeed or if they've already succumbed. And now they got these loans hanging over them. We talked about the lady who dipped into her kid's college fund. We talked about people who borrowed against their home. I brought people up on the channel that clicked the link and talked about these stories. That's purchased $100,000+ trucks. Now they robbing from Peter to pay Paul. Paul is the bank. Paul is the bank, robbing from Peter to pay Paul. Peter is the business. That's the sustainability. Take it from the sustainability of business to pay the bank. Business can't sustain. In over their head. Listen to Bandman Cavill and the rest of these people that told me they was going to make $1 million. So now they got all this pressure on them. But if they would have listened to old Marky Mark say grassroots. Don't go this route. Grassroots. It's going to take a little bit longer, but you ain't going to have the stress of and the pressure of having to pay someone back. Work with what you have. Utilize what you have to build your business and bootstrap your business and grassroots your business like that. Trust me, I know. Because that's the route I went. I didn't have to deal with the pressures of having to pay nobody back by the grace of God. Because if I would have went this route, I would have failed too because I didn't know shit. I didn't know anything at the beginning. I'm glad I didn't have nothing. There was only one way to do it, and that was grassrooted, and that was a blessing from God, because I would have been in absolute trouble. Just like a lot of other people. Handling multiple roles. We kind of touched on this earlier. Small business owners and entrepreneurs often wear multiple hats, taking on roles in marketing, sales, finance, and operations. Juggling various responsibilities can be overwhelming. We touched on this a little earlier. I kind of dived into it early in one of the previous slides. You don't have the money. You don't have the money to pay HR. You don't have the money to pay a sales guy to go out and market your business. Hey, we're so and so. We can provide transportation for you to market you to shippers, or if you're moving, market you to consumers and sell your services. You don't have the capital to hire an operations manager. You got to handle that yourself. So say you got 5 trucks and you're the business owner. So it's going to be your responsibility to come in, handle all the routes, get the crews off, handle the payroll, handle the discrepancies, be HR, be operations, be the owner, talk to the third-party logistics companies, talk to the brokers, talk to the dispatchers, depending on what lane you're doing. If you're doing Amazon Relay, going on a load board, booking those loads, lining the stuff up, handling the discrepancies with your drivers. Hey, man, I can't work the day before Christmas. Guy gets sick while he's in the middle of the route. You got to stop what you're doing and go cover the rest of the route. Having to be available on a drop of a dime. This is what it takes. This is what comes with being a business owner. You have to be able to handle multiple roles. We're talking about a small business owner. A small business owner. You got 5 trucks, you're still a small business owner. 10 trucks, you're still a small business owner. You have to be readily available at any and all times, because your hat may switch just like that. You could be sitting in wherever you do your paperwork, scheduling for the following week, and then you got a driver call you and tell you, man, the truck broke down. So now you go from scheduling, which is an HR role, to a fleet manager role, just like that. Now you got to listen to the driver, see what the problem is, and then make a decision. You know what? We need to call a tow truck. So you went from an HR role to a fleet manager role. So you got to be able to wear multiple hats, which adds more stress. Dealing with challenges. Entrepreneurship involves navigating challenges such as market competition, something we talk about, economic downturns, something we talk about and we've been dealing with for the past year or so, and unexpected obstacles, some things like I gave examples of earlier. The constant need to problem solve can be mentally taxing. I went through this earlier. I kind of jumped ahead earlier. I gave you some examples. I didn't want to give you too many because I want to save some of this stuff for my stories. My story series. Trucks getting stuck in the snow. You got a problem solve. That's something that can't wait. I gave you the story of one of my drivers tearing out the whole dock on it. Getting sued. Accidents. Rifts amongst employees. Had a guy that thought he was finna come up to the yard and jay down on me because he don't know how to count, thinking his check was wrong. Thought his check was wrong. Thought he was finna come up there and do something. He adding the goddamn check up in front of my face and adding wrong. He adding the numbers and everybody looking at him like, wait, that is right. Having to deal with shit like that. Might have to go upside an employee head. Because he can't count. Came to the yard twice. I came to the yard and they got all my catalytic converters out my 16-foot box trucks. That's another story I'm going to tell y'all about. It happened twice. One day they hit a few of my trucks for the batteries. Why? Because the drivers, when they return at the end of the day, they don't lock the goddamn doors. So by my yard being parallel to a Union Pacific train route, they can't come in the yard, right? But I don't have any control over the rail yard. So what they do is they come up from the other side of the street, come up over the rail, and then come down that way. That's a risky move, but to a clucker who trying to get a hit, they gonna take risk. So they come up through the train from the other side, come up the hill, come up the train tracks, and then come and jump into the yard that way. I can't control that. Even if I could, we talking about cluckers. They're gonna find a way. Imagine coming to the yard, man. Hey, Mark, the truck ain't cutting on. Hey, Mark, my truck ain't cutting on neither. What you? Hey, mine ain't cutting on neither. Wait, hold on. Hey, Mark, ain't none of these trucks cutting on. Go outside, pop the hood. Ain't no goddamn batteries in 3 or 4 of the trucks. It's a lot of shit that I ain't talked about in a year and a half of being on YouTube. There's a lot of shit I could talk about. It's come from experience. That's a problem they got to get solved. Now what? Now, truck's going to be late. Whether they was moving trucks or final mile trucks, they're going to be late. Got to run the AutoZone, buy a bunch of batteries, spend money that wasn't expecting to spend that day. Got to put the batteries in. If they moving trucks, now we got to call the customers. What if they got an elevator scheduled? What if it's the first of the month and the building has tight elevators? We supposed to be there at 8. We got to move our elevator from 8 to 10 because another moving company coming to move somebody in from 10 to 12. And in these buildings downtown, they have to put a deposit down to reserve the elevator. So now if we miss that elevator, we screwed. Now the customer's mad at us. The next moving company, they on time. They not going to let us share the elevator with them. How can we? They moving somebody in the 50th floor. We moving somebody out of the 42nd floor. How you think I know all this experience? Because I've been through it. You can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you stuff from going through it. Imagine going to work. You got 10 trucks at that time and 4 or 5 of the batteries gone. Imagine coming to work and you sitting in the office and you give a guy his route and the key and you go out and you sit in the office typing, and then you hear, I already knew it. God damn it, somebody stole the mother catalytic converter. Soon as you hear the truck cut on, you sit in the office, you hear it. Damn it, it had to be one of the 16-footers. It's gone. You go outside, goddamn catalytic converter go. Man. Hey, Telly, go get the keys to truck 5, 6, whatever truck's left. Bring all the keys out here. Cut on 6. God damn. Give me the key to 7. God damn. Give me the key to 8. Okay, they didn't get that one. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's that under the truck? God damn, there go the blade. The blade, look, they was trying to get this one off. I swear to God. They was trying to get this one off the blade, bro. Damn, this is a cheap-ass blade, Mark. They got 3 of them, though. Luckily, it was not one of them nights where I was tucked in the office. Luckily, it was one of them nights that I wasn't tucked in the office. I had my whip parked inside the warehouse, and I'm asleep in there. I'd rather it happen like that than it happened with me in that office, because I would not be sitting here talking to you right now. I definitely would have been a manslaughter. They definitely would have arrested my black ass for protecting property. What was I going to do? Sit in the office? I don't know what they got. I go outside. It's pitch black out there. It's 1, 2 in the morning. I'm asleep. They don't know I'm asleep because they don't see the car. So I'm going outside with it out. Challenges. Not expecting to deal with that. Think you coming to work, you're going to give out the routes, you're going to give out the keys, you're going to have a good productive day. Now I got to call Jaime. Jaime, I got to send 3 trucks to you. This is a problem that can't wait. Now those 3 routes that day, because it happened to me a few times, can't run them. That's not a problem I can solve with running down the AutoZone and going buying some batteries, or calling Julie. Hey Julie, you got 3 trucks? Because for the time it would take for me to drive to my yard to Summit, Illinois, get 3 drivers to go over there with me, drive over there, go through that, and get them on. It's just too much time. Got to chalk that one up. Got to chalk that day up. Unexpected obstacles. Yeah, that's what it's like. Being a problem solver. Being a problem solver. There's other obstacles too that may not be as serious as those. Mark, you can't fit the couch in. The maintenance, the engineer in the building said they'll drop the elevator, we can put it on top. Or what first time they did it, they didn't even call and ask me for clearance. Wait a minute, y'all had the engineer lower the elevator, y'all put the couch on the top of the goddamn elevator to get it up to the 50th floor? Wait, why you didn't call me? Well, man, the engineer said, no, wait a minute, hold on. F what the engineer said. First of all, I don't want to be held responsible for that. 2, I would have rather y'all carry it up 50 flights, and I would have gave y'all an extra $10 to $15 a flight, because I would have charged the customer $30 to $40 a flight after the 3rd flight going up. Not only did you just put yourself and the sofa at risk and put me at stake for liability, you just also cost us a bunch of money and cost yourself a bunch of money. Now I got to J down on employees for doing dumb shit. How you think? It's all come from experience of being in these situations. That ain't a good feeling, coming to the yard in the morning and all the batteries gone. Then you got to call a meeting like, man, why can't, when y'all return these trucks at the end, y'all lock the damn doors before you put the key in the overnight drop box? Why don't you lock the doors? Because they didn't break no windows to pop these hoods to steal these batteries. Why don't you just lock the doors? We could talk about the fuel heist. Got to constantly check the fuel cards. Make sure ain't nobody selling fuel. Got to set limits on the fuel cards. See, they don't talk about this stuff. I'm telling you from experience. You want to talk about stress? I'm 43. 13 and a half years of that, I still look good. Because I had to reduce stress levels in other places because I couldn't handle it. Building, scaling, and maintaining a business at that level was enough stress. It gets to the point where every day when you go into work, you already know you're going to have to deal with something. Something going to happen. The more you scale, the higher you scale, the more trucks you get, the more people you're going to deal with, the odds of something happening become greater. It's going to get to a point where every day is going to be a problem or a multitude of problems. Stress level going to be high. So you're going to deal with a lot of challenges. That's going to be mentally taxing. Your brain is going to always be clouded with work. Always. If you're not thinking about work 24 hours a day, especially in the early stages, chances are you're not really succeeding. A real entrepreneur is consumed. His brain is consumed with work. If you're not problem solving, you're thinking about elevation. If your brain isn't thinking about solving an issue that's currently going on within your business, if all the problems are solved, then your brain is thinking about going to the next level. What can I do to make the business better? What can I do to increase revenue? There is not a moment where your brain, and you're not forcing yourself to do it either. It's just innate. This is the life of a true entrepreneur. It's innate. If your wife or your girlfriend ain't annoyed that you're always talking about business, or you're wondering, you sitting at the table, you get the time to go to have a nice dinner, the candle is lit, she's sitting across the table, she done went to Sheen or whatever that web, what's the Sheen, and what's the other one, what's the website the women go to and get the cheap clothes, but they women, so the shit looks sexy anyway, but this should be cheap. Sheen, and then Fashion Nova. She got the Fashion Nova on, got the little cleavage showing, looking all good, smelling good. You making some good money because you listen to Martha Mentor and Kirky Fresh, so you winning out in these streets. You're gonna take her out to a nice dinner. It's her birthday. You dig what I'm saying? So you know after you leave here, you're gonna go back to the crib and you dig what I'm saying? You're gonna get it in. But while you're sitting at that table, she looking all good, and for the life of her, she don't understand why you in La La Land. You in a daze somewhere. Because you thinking about the business. You either thinking about something that needs to get done, you thinking about a problem that needs to be solved, or you thinking about how you gonna take the business to the next level. I don't give a goddamn. She could be looking good, looking like a Nicki Minaj, looking like a Cardi B. That's fine and dandy. You got her already. But if you're a real business person, a real entrepreneur, you're going to be thinking about that business too. That's a fact. That's a fact. Don't nothing come before the business. Nothing. What you over there thinking about? You thinking about work, ain't you? Nah, I'm just tired. No, you ain't. I done got all dressed up and chick got a cleavage showing and done put on the smell good, smelling all fruity and stuff. You thinking about business. And if that's you, salute. You get it. It's innate. You ain't trying to do it. You ain't trying to do it. You ain't trying to do it. It's innate. You know when you get back to the crib, you got to put that 20 minutes in. You already know. That's a fact. That's given. But she want that attention at dinner, and it just being that entrepreneur, your mind is focusing on, man. T-Force called me early and said, man, if I got another truck, man, they got another route. I'm thinking like, damn, should I go rent a truck? I need to go hire a person. Let me go rent a truck, man. How I'm going to pull this off? They said, man, I need to get that other truck because now that's going to increase my revenue. You thinking about how you finna pull that off because they just presented an opportunity to you. And this time at this dinner is the time where mentally you have the time to think about it. You better think about it then instead of thinking about it later, because then you might not be able to perform as well later if you're thinking about it. So you think about it at the dinner table, pimp. This is what an entrepreneur is. This is what being an entrepreneur is like. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, man. Now here's a good one. Isolation. Now this is something that I've been struggling with. It ain't even a struggle no more. It's just I'm used to it. Entrepreneurs, especially those running small businesses, may experience a sense of isolation. The lack of a traditional corporate structure can lead to a feeling of being alone in the city. It's lonely at the top, man. Forget all that. It's lonely at the top. Let me just keep it 1,000 with you. You build a successful business, you scale, you're gonna have friends that you leave behind. You're gonna have family members that you leave behind because you left them. Y'all might have been on the same level at some point. But you go out and you become an entrepreneur, you put in all the sacrifices, you gone. A lot of the things that you had in common, you no longer have in common. A lot of the time that you had to talk on the phone or go to the bar on Sundays and watch the football game or have guys night or whatever it is that you did, you don't have that type of time anymore. So now you're going to get, man, he think he all this and all that because he got this little bit. It's, you know, when they hang, because they always say, it's his little business doing all, you know, he got his little business now. So you find yourself in being isolated because you don't have certain things in common anymore. And see, this is something that I struggled with early on. I didn't have anybody to go talk to. Live streaming didn't exist. When I first started, there was no Instagram. Instagram didn't start until 2012, 2013. And even then, it wasn't to the extent that it is now, right? This mentoring and coaching and all this free educational information wasn't that. I started in 2010. YouTube wasn't as advanced as it is now. Live streaming didn't even exist then. Most of the videos you seen on YouTube back then were like, people used YouTube back then to upload like family videos and clips of trips and stuff, and then they would share it. Me and my wife were taking the kids to Walt Disney World for 7 days. So we got our little digital camera, the digital camera back then. We'd film all our stuff on a digital camera, take pictures, film everything on a digital camera. We had a memory card. We'll come back home to our gateway computer or our Dell. We'll take the memory card out and we'll put it into the computer and we'll upload that stuff onto the computer. And then we go to YouTube and upload that stuff onto YouTube. And then we'd share it with grandma that's in Arizona or down in Florida. Here, grandma, click this link. This is us and the kids out in Disney World. Now they can see a full 10-minute video because YouTube, you couldn't even have a long video back then. I think the longest was 10 minutes, if I can remember right. And this is what YouTube was for. The most popular video on YouTube back then was Charlie Bit My Finger. So we done came a long way. The most viewed video back then was Charlie Bit My Finger. Some of y'all probably know, what is this guy talking about? Charlie bit my finger. Hold on. Let me show you what YouTube was like back then. Let's see if the video's up. This video had 1 billion views, and it was the most viewed video on YouTube back in the day. So we didn't have all this. Now this isn't the original video, but this is a re-upload, and this was posted 13 years ago. This isn't the original video.
Charlie. Charlie bit me. Ah. Ah. Oh, ouch. Ouch. Ouch, Charlie. Ow! Charlie, that really hurt.
That was the biggest video on YouTube for years back in the day. For years. For years. Why? Because this is what YouTube was used for back then. This whole new culture that we have now, with what I'm doing and what other people are doing and showing cars and stuff, it wasn't for that. It evolved into that. It evolved into that. So when you're running a business and you see some levels of success because you're scaling, you're investing a lot of time into your business, whether you're investing time into the physical aspect of it or researching. All your time, even time that you think is free time, no longer becomes free time. Because now you still researching. What you doing right now? You sitting up here listening to me. A guy that's been doing this since 2010. You catching gems and jewels with me. It's lonely at the top, man. The people who you came up with, or the people that was in your circle that want to come up under you, and those are going to be very few, if any. This is what comes with being a successful entrepreneur. Loneliness. Isolation. You don't have time to do the shit that you had to do, you could do before. You're not going to have anybody in your circle that you can confide in. That's where I led me to showing that. I couldn't go research, know nothing about moving back then. That was the most important #1 video on YouTube, because that's what YouTube was about. I didn't have anybody in my family that was an entrepreneur. I couldn't even go talk to anybody about basic business information, let alone moving. So I felt alone. I had a lot of decisions to make. I remember going to my OG, asking her questions. She was a school teacher. She used to feel bad because she couldn't give me information. I would just go to her as a last resort. Like, well, it's like tossing the coin. I know she don't know the answer, but I just need to ask somebody. Frustration. Y'all got it better now. Y'all could come to guys like me and Kirk. It's lonely at the top, man. The road to the top gets lonely, and when you get up there, that's when the vultures come out. I mean, look at YouTube. Look at everybody throwing shots at me and Kirk. Even on this platform, putting in the effort, building up channels, giving people information. Build a successful channel. You build a successful channel. Now the shots start coming at you. That's how you know you are at the top. Out of all the content creators in the box truck space, I only made one friend in this space, and that's Kurt. One. Ain't never did nothing to nobody. Just put out good content, built a nice, presentable channel, put out good content. Made more enemies than friends. Lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top. Oh, and Axel. Axel is okay when he want to be. You know, a lot of people don't like the fact that I'm cordial with Axel. But he never did nothing to me. I'm cool with people that's cool with me. It's lonely at the top, man. I had to figure this shit out on my own, not the information and the experience, but presenting. Nobody reached out and said, hey, Mark, you might want to get this camera. You might want to do this. You might want to use this software. You might want to do that. It don't take me long. I'm going to figure it out. Whatever I got to spend, I'm going to spend it. I'm going to figure it out. I took the time to research what I needed to do to make the content better and more digestible. The information is golden. I wanted to make it more appealing and digestible from a viewing perspective. So a lot of isolation. A lot of lonely, not being able to talk and confide in anybody, especially if you're coming from an urban environment where it just, you know, a lot of people aren't entrepreneurs or aren't educated on business. You're going to spend a lot of time by yourself. And that's a fact. That's a fact. I got 2 friends, maybe 3. Lost a lot of them on the way up. It's like every time you go up a level, leave high school, the people I ran with in high school, I went to college. I went to college and got a job. Had 2 full-time jobs and full-time in school. People I ran with in high school didn't go to college. So I didn't have time to hang out on South Chicago and Stony Island with them. I'm too busy working and in school. So safe to say, we no longer, from running with each other all day in high school, after high school, going home playing Sega Genesis. Shout out to my one hater. My one hater was gonna come in and hit the thumbs down. You know, ain't shit I said deserved a thumb down, but that's how you know it's a broke hater out here. We always gotta get a hater a little bit of attention. You always gotta get a hater a little bit of attention because that's what they want. So this the attention I'm gonna give them. Get your bread up. Go dollar for dollar whenever you ready. Get your bread up, because that's why you hating, because your bread ain't up. Because see, a person who's bread up ain't got time to hate. Only a broke person is gonna hate because they bread ain't up. You know, the type of person that sleep in the bed with no pillowcases, sleep in the bed with no sheets, just sleep on a bare mattress. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yeah, I'm talking to you, hater. I'm talking to you. I love it though. I love it. All right, getting back. It's lonely at the top, man. It's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top, man. All right, man, let me move on. Fear of failure. The fear of business failure can be a significant stressor for entrepreneurs. The personal and financial consequences of a failed venture can be discouraging. A lot of people are scared to fail. A lot of people are scared to fail. And you should be. You should be scared to fail. That's why I say don't put too much stress on yourself as far as a financial burden. Me personally, I'm going to always promote grassrooting a business, bootstrapping a business. I feel like if you grassroot a business, if you bootstrap a business, I feel like you're going to always have stress, but that diminishes that level of stress. Whereas if you go out and you get a bank to back you, or you take out a personal loan to fund your business or whatever. You go get a traditional bank loan or whatever you do. You go borrow money from a relative or family member, because that's the most stress that you're going to have. When you borrow money, now you got the stress of having to pay that back. Whereas if you utilize what you have, or you start from humble beginnings, you're starting from a very, very humble beginning, and you're working to build yourself up. As money is coming in, you're utilizing that money and pushing that back out into that business that you're grassrooting to continue to build yourself up. So you're going to have stress, but you don't have the stress of borrowing money and damn near having to assure yourself that you are going to be 100% successful because you got to pay that money back. I don't know what that feels like, because I wasn't in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be in that situation. I'm thankful that I wasn't in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that I wasn't in that situation, but you're going to fear failure. Everybody does. Anything you do, you're going to fear it. Even when you become successful, you're going to fear the decline. That's why you have to create a business plan, and you also have to create an exit strategy. You got to know when it's time to throw it in. See, a lot of people are forced to throw it in by default because they make bad decisions. They misappropriate funds, things of that nature, right? Or an economic downturn comes and they weren't expecting it because they didn't appropriate funds for the unexpected. Or a lot of people don't realize, sometimes it's just good to exit when you're at the top. This is when your business is most profitable, and this is when you can turn around and sell it for a high dollar amount. Take the money and move on to something else. But you're always going to have that fear of failing. Always. Always. It doesn't leave you. It doesn't leave you. It never leaves you. Because the unexpected is always looming in the back of your brain. And it may not be something that you do on your own. If you're running a business, let's say you're at scale and you're relying on employees, all it takes is one stupid employee to go do one stupid thing. And there goes the business. And I don't think I need to go into certain examples. You in trucking. So you trusting a person to drive a vehicle. So lives are at stake. And I don't think I need to expound on that any further. But you got one stupid person do one stupid thing, and whoop, there you have it. I've got subscribers that have lost their business because a driver has gone through a weigh station. I've heard this on numerous occasions. Gone through weigh stations with blunts. Now, this is something that's becoming common because I had another guy that I know had the same issue. And then it was a content creator when I first came on YouTube had the same issue. Went through a weigh station with a blunt. Game over. Called the box truck game, right? The game was over at that point. Now, this wasn't something that the owner did. This was something that an incompetent employee that they had did. They thought they was slick. They was doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing. Not only did they compromise their job, right? They compromised and put in jeopardy the person who gave them an opportunity's business. And that's exactly what happened. And it's an unfortunate thing. Shit happens. So now a person who went to work that day in a good mood has now become a failure because of someone else's idiocy. So you never know. It doesn't necessarily have to be on you. But everyone that's a business owner always has that in the back of their mind, a fear of failure. And it also, fear of failure is also, you can kind of use it as a tool to encourage you to do better, to prevent it from happening. I've always taken that and used that fear of failure to push me to work harder, to prevent that from happening. Some things are going to always be beyond your control, but you take something like that and utilize that as a tool to push you harder. It's just like a hater. When haters hate, I just go harder. Give them a reason to hate. Just give them a reason to hate. I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as a good thing. Take a lot of energy to hate. You know what I'm saying? Take a lot of energy to hate. More energy to hate than it does to congratulate somebody or give them a compliment. Take more muscles to frown than it do to smile. So you utilize hate, use that as a motivator, just like you utilize the fear of failure to utilize that as a motivator to do great. But always keeping it, it's going to always be, Sinead is going to be in the back of your mind anyway. Now, here's a good one. This is something that you hear a lot now. Lack of work-life balance, especially amongst Generation Z. Achieving work-life balance can be challenging for entrepreneurs, particularly in the early stages of business development. The boundary between work and personal life may blur. When you're an entrepreneur, especially at the beginning, that work-life balance, that shit don't even exist. For real. It don't. If you, man, I can't do this because I got a Beyonce coming to town, or Taylor Swift coming to town, or so-and-so coming to town, or whatever. Man, you don't got time for that. You trying to build. Or you may be at a point where things are, kind of smooth sailing. You're dealing with the typical unexpectancies of running a business. And let's give this example again. It's your girl's birthday, so you're gonna go to a Bulls game. You spent the $1,800, so you spent $3,600 on 2 courtside seats. Courtside, center court, spent $1,800, so you spent $3,600 on 2 courtside seats, so your girl can, take that picture with her feet on the hardwood and post it on Instagram so everybody can see her man got her center court at the Bulls game, and her red bottoms is on that hardwood. And then after that, you got reservations on the top of a high-rise building, you know what I'm saying, for a nice dinner overlooking the city. You know what I'm saying? This is what you got planned. And you at scale, you got 6 trucks. Now, this is your girl's birthday. You done got these tickets. You got this dinner. And right before you go to the game, you booked a helicopter ride. Now, I'm giving you some game now. Some of y'all that's just now coming into some money with your box truck because you listen to me and Kurt, you can take this information. So when your girl or your wife's birthday, I'm giving you this so that you can use it. Helicopter, courtside seats, dinner overlooking the city. And then you already know after that, later on that night, right? So you got 5 or 6 trucks. It's 3. The game started at 7. The helicopter ride an hour, that's at 5. Where the launching pad at is right around the corner from the stadium. It's 3 o'clock. Your driver call you. You running a route. It's a final mile route. Let's make it easy. It's a final mile route. It's the driver. They in the city. He throws his back out. They still got 6 more stops. It's 3 o'clock. You got one alternating guy. You call him, he don't pick up. You running for RXO. You know you can't call him and tell him, man, you got to bring the truck in early. Because you already know what they're going to say. But why you just don't go do it? What do you do? What do you do, business owner? It's work-life balance. What you going to do? I'm going to tell you what you're supposed to do. I'm going to give you the answer. You're going to have that hard conversation with your girl. You're going to have to tell her to call one of her friends to go take this helicopter ride. Take this other ticket to this Bulls game and go have dinner. Because you got to go replace that driver who threw his shoulder or threw his back out working for your company so that you can keep and maintain the relationship that you have with RXO or whatever the third-party logistics company is. And so that you can satisfy those 6 customers that are still expecting the delivery. Because if you don't do the deliveries, it's going to get charged back to you anyway. So now you got to meet that truck and go hop on that truck and finish that route. And it's your girl's birthday and you 2 hours away from your helicopter reservation. You got to go in that room and tell her that. And she's going to be mad at you. But the business comes first. Are you ready for that? Can you handle that? Because some of y'all ain't going to do it. Some of y'all going to be more excited for the helicopter ride than she is. Like it's your birthday. Some of y'all going to be more excited to go see the game. You going to think it's your birthday. And you supposed to be doing it for her. You got reservation at Ruth Chris. You've been waiting. You've been trying to get to Ruth Chris for the past month. You've been had a taste for some stuffed chicken breast. You just utilizing the opportunity because it's her birthday so you can go get you some stuffed chicken breast. She didn't even want to go to Ruth Chris for her birthday. She wanted to go to Capitol Grill. But you done made up some type of lie. Oh, they closed for renovation, so we just going to go ahead to Ruth Chris because you want stuffed chicken breast. Now you got to go in that room and tell her, man, babe, man, Sam threw his back out, man, on taking up this damn washer and dryer. He did? Is he okay? Yeah, he all right, but they still got 6 more stops. And this is what she going to ask you. So what you going to do? Now she asking you that because she don't want you to tell her, well, I'm going to have to go do that. She asked you that to figure out if you would have made some other type of arrangements. So what you going to do? And that's when this shit really going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Well, I ain't got no choice. You're going to have to call Keisha and see if she ain't got shit going on tonight. Y'all just going to have to go to the helicopter and go to the game, go to dinner, and then I'm going to try to knock this shit out and we'll see if I can catch up with y'all. Call Keisha? It's my birthday. Well, what you want me to do? What you mean? It's my birthday. We got plans. We got reservations. But man, 6 more stops. The customers, it's customers waiting. And this way if you got a winner or not. F them customers. It's my birthday. What you gonna do, fam? What you gonna do? Problem solving, decision making, work-life balance. You're going to have to turn your back. First, you're going to say, look, call Keisha. I'm finna get dressed. I got to go meet this truck. But I know a lot of y'all going to say F them customers. You're going to call RXO and you're going to tell them some bullshit. You're going to tell them the truth, but then you also going to tell them some bullshit on why you can't physically go out and do it. They're going to have to dealing with all those customers that took off of work or left work early because they got a 4 to 8 window or 5 to 9 window and tell them the truck ain't coming. So that you can go on a helicopter ride, sit at a game, take pictures so you can put them on Instagram and go eat stuffed chicken breast. Also, at the end of the night, you can do this. So what you gonna do, fam? Ain't no such thing as work-life balance when you an entrepreneur. You can't balance life and work. Work is gonna always consume 100% of you. Even if that scenario didn't happen, you at the game. At some point during that game, you thinking about business. At some time during that dinner, you thinking about business. When you on that helicopter and you looking down over the city, a thought of business is gonna cross your mind. I know somebody that quit their job this year. When all the corporate companies was calling people back into work because they had been working from home for the past 2 years, 2.5 years. And they say, all right, well, we're not going to make you come back in 5 days. We're going to start integrating people in slowly on a hybrid schedule. You got to come in 3 days and you can stay at home 2 days, and we'll make it even sweeter for you. You can work from home Monday and Friday. You got to come into the office Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I know somebody that quit their job because they didn't want to come back into the office. They made a big fuss saying that their work-life balance was important to them, and going into the office was 3 days was just excessive because they had got accustomed to working from home for them 2.5 years during the pandemic. And going into the office was excessive. So what are you going to do? I don't know. I got enough money for a month. I'm going to have to freelance. I'll figure it out. Stupid. Especially if you got a business. You don't have that option. Work-life balance don't exist. If work is calling, you got to answer, especially if it's a situation that requires an immediate answer, like the scenario that I just gave you. A lot of y'all ain't ready for that. Some of y'all is active in the business right now, like, damn, these scenarios are spot on. Some of y'all that may be watching that's looking to get into the business, you may be like, damn, this shit is, damn, I don't know if I'm ready for something like that. It goes back to you lonely. So now, going back to that scenario, it's her birthday. And the guy throw his shoulder out. You got the tickets to the game, floor seats, helicopter ride, dinner. And you leave her hanging at the last minute because you got to go save the day, save your business, make sure the customers are happy, make sure your client, which is the 3PL, is happy. Check on your driver because, you know, he threw his shoulder out working for you. So it would behoove you to go see how he's doing anyway. That would just be the moral thing to do regardless. Maybe a possibility that once you go out there and you do all that and you recover that route, finish those stops and come back home, that you might have lost your girl too. Y'all might have been on rocky road anyway. That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Or she might not come home that night because it's her birthday. She might want to go to Pound Town. She just ain't going to Pound Town with you because you stood up to go deliver some washers and dry for your funky little box truck business. Now that goes back to the isolation. Sacrifice, lonely at the top. You ready for that? You ready for that, fam? You ready for that, fam? Let me know if you're ready for that. When I say the business come before everything, God damn it, business come before everything. After God. It's God. Because without God, none of this would be possible. It's business. You know why? Because without that business, you wouldn't have had $3,600 to buy courtside floor seats. Without the business, you wouldn't have been able to book that helicopter. Without the business, you would have been able to reserve that dinner. And depending on how your living situation is, if you feel like you want to really set the mood after the dinner, you booked a nice hotel downtown overlooking the city. And you told the concierge to, put some rose petals on the bed shaped like a heart. Spent another $400 on that for the night. You got it all set out. You out over $5,000 just for the night. Not to mention the gift you bought her. You took a trip down to Gucci. You got her a Speedy 35 or a Speedy 30. Now you spent another $2,000 there. You got $7,000 for one night. It's your girl. You got to tell her, nah, I can't do none of that shit now. What you gonna do? It's God, it's the business, it's everything else, because none of that shit would have been possible without that business. The business is what paid you enough. Because you a good business guy. You a good business person. You ain't robbing from the sustainability of your business. Business is sustaining, you paying your employees, and you're able to pay yourself handsomely. When none of that been possible without the hierarchy. God, then the business. But there's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna put that situation in front of the business. And then that's where everything is gonna go downhill from there. Ain't no such thing as work-life balance when you're an entrepreneur. Don't exist. The work and the business is demanding, and when it calls, this is what you signed up for. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You got to come running. You are a high-paid slave to the business that you started, and that was a choice. No one held a pistola to your head and made you do it. And this is what separates the strong from the weak. These are the people that build and are successful versus the people that are not. These are the monsters versus the people who just can't get their shit together and figure it out. These are the winners over the losers. The happy people who got money over the haters that don't. People with clear cameras versus people with fuzzy cameras. People with nice cars versus people with pieces of shit. People with successful businesses, bills are paid, they not robbing from the sustainability of their business, versus people that just can't get their shit together to save their life because they doing everything wrong. They worried about the Generation X Jordans or whatever that came out yesterday. They don't want to go to work because they got to get to Foot Locker to go get the Generation X Jordans or whatever they call Generation Jordans. A real box truck or a business owner, I should say, they want the Jordans that came out, the holiday Jordan number 11s that everybody go crazy for. You know what a business owner is going to do? They're going to let them come out. They're not going to stop from getting to the money that day. They're going to go on one of these apps or go on OfferUp. Once they drop and everybody run to the store that got their reservation, they're going to pay the extra $150 markup and just get them like that. You go stand in line all night, and when you put them on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace or StockX, I'm going to be the person who's going to pay the extra $150 markup to buy from you because I don't have time to go do all that. I'm getting this money out here. This little extra $150 markup for you to go stand in line and be a placeholder for me. That's what I'm paying for. And that's how I look at it. You go stand in line, fam. I'm going to give you extra $150 to $200 to be a placeholder for me because I'm too busy getting to the money. That little $150, $200, that ain't nothing. We don't stand in line. We not wrecking our brain going on the sneakers app, trying to hurry up and get them, waiting, counting down at 8:59. Nah, let them go do all that. I'm going to give you extra $150, $200. I'm going to try to find somebody in my market first that went and stood in line that got them so I don't have to go wait. I'm going to meet them somewhere, and I'm going to make the transaction. Business person not finna take off to go do no goofy shit like that. That's the difference between a successful person and a non-successful person. And finally, burnout. The combination of high stress, long hours, and constant decision making can contribute to burnout, which may lead to a negative perception of work. I've had burnout plenty of times. All right. It comes with running a business on a high level, right? And being successful, right? It's just something that you got to deal with, right? When you start experiencing burnout, when you need to start thinking, where's your business at this point? How long do you feel like you can do this? Is it something that you can delegate to someone else? Can you afford to delegate tasks to other people to relieve you from some stress? If it's a small business, which most people are running, more times than not, you're not going to have the funding to be able to find source a person to do a lot of the delegation and be able to pay them a significant amount of money where it's worth the task, right? So that's when you start need to thinking, how many more years of this can I withstand? We're successful, but with success comes a lot of stress, right? That's when you start creating an exit strategy. How do you want to go out? Because burnout is going to come. You see it with most successful entrepreneurs. You see it with successful artists, recording artists, entrepreneurs. On a small scale, there's a restaurant here that's very popular, a mom and pop restaurant that's been in business for 50 years, and they're closing. It's time to retire. News went out, said, man, you guys don't want to, we're just going to close. We're closing at the top. It's time for retirement. We're burnt out. It happens. So it's best to create an exit strategy so that you can exit profitably. Because everyone experiences burnout, especially if you're operating a business on a high level and you're doing it successfully. Because you're going to be going through everything that we talked about prior that led us up to burnout. The mental work, the mental stress that you're dealing with day in and day out, whether you're on the truck or whether you're not on the truck. If you're a successful business owner, you're constantly thinking of ways to improve business and make more money. That's what it's all about. Revenue. You don't get to a point and say, okay, we're at this level, we're making money, the business is sustaining, I'm getting paid handsomely, everybody's happy. No, you're going to want to make more. And you're going to want to make more, and you're going to want to make more, and you're going to want to make more, and you're dealing with that stress simultaneously while dealing with the day-to-day problems that occur. Everybody gets burnt out. Even if you're an owner-operator, say you run an OTR. You really run an OTR. You away for 45 days, 60 days at a time. You on the road. You burning up miles. You on the road. It's going to come with burnout at some point. You running final mile. You on a 6-day contract. It's you and your helper. And you got one guy rotating. But you're on the truck 5 days out of the week. And you're dealing with the mental stresses that come along with the business. You know that the truck needs to go in for this. You got to figure out, damn, I'm going to have to go rent a truck on my off day so that I could, run the route without missing a day. Then I got to take the truck in to go get it fixed. And I don't know what's wrong with it. Then once it's fixed, I got to get the truck, pick it up, then go take the rental truck back. All these things is things that's going on in your mind. And then you out in the field too, lifting every single day. Now you done had a heat wave come. You're going to have 6 consistent days of 100-degree weather. And you doing final mile delivery. Now you dealing with that. God damn it, the AC done went out. Damn, I ain't got time to go change. Now you thugging it out, 100-degree day. The cooling system done failed on you. You mentally burnt out. You physically burnt out. That one day off that you had from the one guy that you got that's rotating, y'all. Your one day is spent doing shit for the business, swapping out trucks, renting a truck so you can put this truck in the shop so the AC can get fixed. So technically you don't got a day off because your day off, you still doing something for the business. Now you burnt out. If you early into your business, you just got to deal with it. You 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, you got to deal with it. Ain't nothing you can do. You really don't have the luxury of saying, all right, how many more years of this do I want to do? Let me start creating an exit strategy, maybe about year 10. And that's only if you've appropriated your funds correctly. You might have been running all this time and you've made the money. Don't be like one of the people who've been running, seeing all the money come to your hands. Let's say you running your one truck for 10 years and you running hard. Let's say you're doing final mile or you're doing OTR. You touching 225 to 250 every year. And then year 10 come, you burnt out, man. I don't know how much longer this I could do. And you look up, you ain't got shit. Ain't got a goddamn thing. You know how many people I know like that? Don't let that be you. So the point that I'm trying to make it is when the money's coming in, you need to be appropriating that money to other things that are making you money so that when that time does come, year 10, when you can really actually start thinking about exiting, you have some things. Because year 10 can come and you can misappropriate all that money, buying cars, tricking on broads, taking trips, doing dumb shit. And like, damn, I ain't got shit. I done made all this money and I ain't got shit. Still renting an apartment. Man, I done threw my back out twice, my shoulder out. I don't think I can do this too much longer. Now you stuck doing it. When the pandemic came around and presented me with the opportunity to get out, I was already made. You mean to tell me I could exit at an appreciated value off my depreciating assets? This opportunity never come around again. I'm gone. At the time, I'm like, man, I don't know. But now, right, post pandemic, it's obvious that was the best decision I could have ever made in my life. Because if I would have held on, I'd have been screwed. But the point that I'm trying to make is I was already set. Real estate, investments. I appropriated money when the money was coming in into things that I could set a 2-year plan. My exit was 2025 anyway. I came up with that in 2018. I said, end of 2022, I'm going. I said that in the fall of 2020. By the fall of 2020, after March had came and the pandemic had came, by September, October 2020, I had seen enough. I said, all right, 2022, I'm done. I had already had my assets. I said, I'm finna turn up these next 2 years. I'm going to take all that money and put that where the rest of the money at. Now, if I would have been doing dumb shit and didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, I would be screwed. I would be out there right now trying to figure shit out, doing shit that I shouldn't be doing because I had so many years and so much money had passed through my hands and I just didn't do what I was supposed to do with it. And this is why when the money is coming in, you do what you're supposed to do with it because you don't know what the future holds. You don't know what the future holds. And that's that fear that we talked about in one of the previous slides. That's always lingering. But you know it's going to be somebody who want to catch a good little run with OTR, Amazon, or Final Mile. And they're going to go out and get them a scat pack or a Hellcat. They got to get a used one now because they don't make them no more. Now they're paying a car note that they really can't afford. Or they're going to do some dumb shit instead of taking that money and socking it away or investing in something. Putting in a brokerage so that they getting at least 5% interest on their money instead of putting it in the bank and getting less than 1%. Investing into the companies that they're running for. Like, come on, man, I make fun of it, but I'm dead ass serious too. There's no reason I should be making more money than people running Amazon, and I've never stepped foot in an Amazon. And that's a fact. You know, I pop up some receipts on your ass. I don't do it when people want me to do it, but I'll pull a receipt out on your ass when I get ready to do it. Like I did a few weeks ago. There ain't no goddamn way in the world I'll be running Amazon or RXO and all these publicly traded companies. I'm running for them day in and day out. I'm a part of the reason why they're successful. And they have a $1 trillion market cap. And I'm not getting a piece of that. And I'm part of the reason why. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. People talk about how much money they make. I make a lot of money off Amazon too, believe it or not. Call me a hypocrite when it comes to Amazon. Because I hate them and I love them. I love the money it makes for me. But I don't like the company and their moral standards. I don't like the company morally. So I'm a hypocrite when it comes to Amazon. I'll be the first to tell you. I'm a hypocrite. But it pays so well. Thank y'all. Thank y'all to all the Amazon people. Thank y'all. I appreciate all the hard work that y'all doing. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So burnout, man, it's going to come. You're going to have moments of burnout throughout your course of your tenure in business. But when you get to year 10 and you're starting to feel that burnout is when you should be coming up with an exit strategy. You should have an exit strategy before, but I don't think it's feasible unless you are an aggressive investor and you practice delayed gratification. A lot of people don't practice delayed gratification. A lot of people ain't going to live a very minimalist lifestyle so that they can take a majority or a bulk of the money that's coming in and invest it into things that are going to make them passive income. Active income is never going to make you rich. It's passive income. But see, a lot of people are not going to practice delayed gratification. The person who practices delayed gratification can turn that 10 years into 6 or 5 or 8. And it sounds like a long time, but trust me, once you get out there and put your head down and get to work, it's going to go like that. It seemed like 2010 was just yesterday to me. It do and it don't. But I can remember it so vividly because it was a pivotal point in my life. I'm here now talking to you because of 2010. But those years went by so fast. Once you get caught up in the moment and the day to day, that time just go by fast. It's like a blur. It's like a blur, but you remember things so vividly. Lord knows I was burnt out in 2017, 2018, I was burnt, but I wasn't in the position that I'm in now. That's why I set my exit strategy for 2025. I was able to bump it up. Appropriate your funds. Do what you're supposed to do. Invest your money. Practice delayed gratification. Stop doing dumb shit. Stop letting people send you off a cliff. Telling you goofy shit that don't make sense. Telling you going to make $1 million in a box truck. You will never make that. Telling you going to get rich. You ain't never. I ain't met one rich box trucker. I done met some rich businessmen and business women. You'll never get rich off of active income. So learn, me telling you this, if a person tell you going to make $1 million, that's bullshit. You're going to make it. You may make it. It may take you a few trucks to make it, but majority of that's going right back out the window. I showed you one of my 1120S's. How much money went back out for that particular business? Over $250,000 spent. I got people throwing shots at me that's gross in that. I'm spending more than that in one business. And I got a multitude. You know, every now and again, I gotta, pull something, show you something. Yeah, I really do it for the haters. It don't really be for y'all. I really do it for the haters. I gotta piss them off, make them mad. So yeah, appropriate your funds correctly so that when you do get to that maximum level of burnout, you've acquired some assets, some things that won't, will help lighten your load so you can create an exit strategy and you'll be okay. Another thing too, I just talked about investing. So yeah, we cool on that. Yeah. So set yourself up for your exit. Burnout is just something you're gonna have to deal with. And that's it, man. I did it in 2 hours. Um, yeah, so that's it, man. I know I said an hour and a half, but I did it in two. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I think this was a very informative discussion tonight. I think this was a very informative discussion. I didn't look at the chat, so I don't know what's going on in chat. Usually when I'm cooking in my live streams, I don't look at that. That's something that I've worked on and I've gotten really good at because I used to see shit in the chat and then stop. So I'm just going to scroll through the chat. I'm not going to go up to the top. I'm just going to scroll through and hand pick a few comments, touch on, and then we out of here because I want to go watch Power. My only goal I set getting in this game was to build a successful business. It's my brand, my baby. I'm built for it, and all that comes with it. Shout out to you, C. Simmons. If anybody didn't get a chance to watch my box truck story segment that I started last night with episode 1, I did it really, really late. I came on like midnight. Make sure y'all go check that out. Box truck stories. I'm gonna start telling stories, just things that I've been through. Like how I talked about the catalytic converter stuff. I'll probably tell that story and some other stories. Let me see. Axel said delayed gratification equals blue balls. See, he tweaking. Delayed gratification means things that you see that you want, not that you need, want. Delaying your gratification for those things for a later time, because when you take money that you're bringing in to get things that you want, that same money on things that you necessarily don't need, you can invest that money and that money can be making money for you. So delayed gratification, it will reduce the amount of time that you have to spend in anything. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I learned later, like real late, like towards the end, like within like the last 3 to 4 years, right? But if I would have, and I've done very well because I'm an aggressive investor. I purchased some things during the middle part of my tenure, but if I would have been as aggressive then as I've been since 2019, I would be even further than where I am now. You the GOAT, Mark. I made a decent bag Black Friday weekend. Appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Let me go through a few other ones. Daniel Williams says, great chat, Mark. Appreciate you. Big Hearn says, never no time off when you're a business owner, especially if you're independent. Definitely not. It's the Walk said, damn, I'm trying to think of a keynote you didn't mention hitting all angles. Man, I try to touch on everything, man, when I get up here. Appreciate you. Anthony Caruso, speaking of StockX, I could have probably made more money buying a shit ton of Jordans pre-COVID than buying a box truck after. Hey, man. Sneakers have become an investment. That's something that that's one of the things that I never saw coming, being a Jordan fanatic, and a lot of the retros that a lot of people go crazy for now. I'm old enough to had those Jordans when they were the original pair. I had the 6s in 91. I had the 3s in 88. You see what I'm saying? I had the 4s in 89. So a lot of those shoes that I had, at an older age when they first started bringing them back out in the late 90s, early 2000s, if I'd have known what was going to happen later on as far as a market for sneakers, I would have held on to a lot of those sneakers and I would have taken better care of them. But it's just one of those things. But yeah, sneaker reselling is a great business. I'm not the type of guy that's going to be running around and networking and standing in line and all that goofy stuff. And it's not, let me not say it's goofy. I'm just at a point where I'd rather pay an extra couple $100. If it's a sneaker that I want, I'd rather just pay an extra $100. I'm not going to go through all that. Kevin Burr says a good lie tonight. Appreciate that. C. Simmons said, man, I missed most of this lie. Go back. Axel said he got burned out now from dealing with idiots. I've had burnout from just dealing with, employees that listen, not everybody is going to be as mentally sharp as you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something that you got to deal with. I'm gonna tell the story about that guy who thought I paid him wrong. He just didn't know math. He's sitting up there adding the shit like literally 1 + 1 to him was 3. He's adding it up, he's getting the wrong answer. The right answer is what he's paying. He said, man, I was supposed to get paid this. I'm like, you did get paid that. No, man, this is he's adding this shit up wrong. So imagine dealing with that. Imagine having to pick up, because this is a big dude. I was gonna have to pick something up. I was gonna have to go upside this dude's head. I can't lose in my own business. I can't lose. So I was gonna have to go upside his head, man. Because the moment I let an employee J down on me, I ain't gonna never have control. So I was gonna have to go upside his head with something. I was gonna be bogus, but I was gonna have to go upside his head. He came up to the yard. You could tell he hadn't brushed his teeth. He had white shit right here. His breath was stinking. He had the white shit right here. He had white shit all in his eyes. And he thought old Marky Mark didn't pay him correctly. Big old nigga. I was gonna have to pick something up and go upside his head. I was looking around. I wasn't gonna pop him. I was looking around to see what I could pick up. I was gonna bust his head. Luckily, he came to the senses and somebody said, hey, bro, he actually paid you right. Your math is off. He said, for real? Everybody said, yeah, because he had made such a big scene. Because everybody, you the boss, everybody waiting to see what's going to happen. He said, damn, I done lost my job then. I done came up and acted a fool, and I was wrong. I done lost my job. I looked at him and said, yep. Little did he know you done lost your job, but it's better than that because I was going to go upside your head. My life is the business, and if she doesn't understand, then that's less of a problem I have to deal with. That's a fact. Sounds like a friend of mine who got a nice amount of income tax check and quit his job. Uh-oh. We got some tax ballers out here. Big Hearn said, got to put the love making on pause. Go secure the bag. Pound Town just go have to wait. That's a fact. James Salmon said, you always lose money chasing women. You never lose women chasing money. That's a fact. Business over everything. She wants to break up with me, then that's fine. If she don't understand the severity of your business, then she's not the one for you. Okay, I know what part of the live stream we was on with these comments. Pippi, let's see what Pippi got to say. If she's a great girl, she'll flex with her friend. If her friend is real, she'll tell her you're a great guy. That's a fact. Hey, Mark, are you reminiscing about any old story? Haha, sounds like a true. Nope, I never had that situation happen to me. I've had situations where I would get flack from my ex because we'd be, me and my ex, we took a lot of international trips. She was the one who actually got me traveling. She forced me to get a passport. So she was the one who introduced me to international travel. So because of her, I've been all over the world. But in these different parts of the world I still have a business to run. It's a sacrifice even just leaving, going away on a vacation. The business was always left in good hands. I had Andre, my brother was there, but at the end of the day, it's not me. And there's certain things that, with the business being left in my brother's hand, that he would still call and consult with me on. And whenever you're away, things are going to happen. People going to try to pull a little sneaky stuff, all types of stuff. I remember one time I went to Vegas for a wedding for an employee, and one of the guys who I hated, I didn't hate him. He hated me. I didn't have an issue with him. I never knew why. he had a disdain for me that went beyond the typical disdainment that a person has for their employer. He just was one of the people. He was one of the people that was there early. So when it was an under the table thing, he was cool with me. But once I started to transition things into a real business, and the business, you know, really, really took off, and all right, y'all, I need y'all to meet me over here. So we ain't parking the trucks in front of my mama's crib no more. I'm renting a yard, and then from renting a yard, I'm going license, and then next thing we know, I got an office, I got a warehouse, and just seeing the elevation, that's where the jealousy started to come in. That was a whole another story that I'm gonna tell the people that was there from the early stages to see me go from an underground sensation, I would say, to a fledgling young entrepreneur. I had to go through a lot of jealousy. A lot of people felt like, damn. I had a guy actually say, man, verbatim, we were having a disagreement because he was late. He was always late. And he gonna tell me, well, it's your responsibility as the business owner to ensure we get to work. You need to actually, you should give us a bus card. I said, dude, it's not my responsibility to make you get to work. I pay you. It's up to you to make sure, ensure how you gonna get to work. That's what you work for. You work and get paid to take care of your lifestyle, your living, your housing, your travel, your food, this, that, and the third. So you want me to pay you for doing the work, and then you want me to pay you to come to work too? Nah, bro. What you mean? We doing all the work. We making you rich. You ain't making me rich. Did you forget? You've been around since the early days. I was out on that truck before I removed myself from them trucks to get the business to where it's at now. So I wasn't on them trucks. How you making me rich, fam? Everything that I got and acquired at that point, I did it. You ain't doing nothing for me. I'm actually doing something for you. I'm giving you an opportunity to work. Everything that I got, and to the point that I was at that particular time, I worked to get there. You're not making me anything. You're not putting money in my pocket. I'm putting money in your pocket. I'm providing you an opportunity to be able to take care of your family. You're not providing shit for me. More shit that you got to deal with. We'll say that shit for the story series. But tell me you making me rich. You ain't doing shit for me. Let me see. Kevin Burke said he would cancel the date and handle your business. I agree. You got to keep the account. Money over honey. Okay. Started my business in 2022. Haven't had a drink since. That's good. Is DeWalt said, yeah, haters are essential to a successful person. Most definitely. Ugh. Big Herm, that's the hardest part of your operating your business, which is entrusting different people. Definitely. Market leaves you after age 50. What? Where was I at when on that part of the line? What were you talking about? Next 3 months are going to be very interesting. They definitely are. First quarter is always interesting. Let me see. Shout out to Cargo Chris. Failing is not trying. Definitely failing is not trying. I always keep fear of failure in the back of my mind. I don't, and I kind of agree with you, Axel, because I think now I don't really have fear at this point in my life with investing, because I only invest into things I fully understand, I believe in, and I only invest what I can afford to lose. You see what I'm saying? The minute you try to do better, your boys want you to be a bum with them because moving up is too hard. Definitely. Cargo says, but nah, salute, you giving it up and we need this tenfold. Oh, you talking about when I was talking about Sega? Yeah, man, I'm 43, man. Listen, we would go to high school. I was in high school. I went to a vocational school. So half of the day we spent in shop. The other half we spent in classes. I had two best friends in high school. After school, I lived closest to the school. So we'd come to my crib, we'd play Sega. The game we would play was NBA Live 95. That was the game. NBA Live 95. We would play NBA Live 95. And if it was a Thursday after school, we'd play NBA Live 95. And then Thursday nights, you know what came on? Monday nights, you know what came on? Monday Nitro. That's when the wars was going on between Nitro and I forget what WWF was calling they shit, but Nitro was the shit. You had NWO. Sting would come up in the rafters. Sting would appear, and then you would go crazy. Oh, Sting! It just flash the camera. He'll just come looking over the rafters, and that was like the coolest thing. And he would just look, and you would just hope Sting was going to come out. But that was 95, 96, 97. That was high school. Play NBA Live 95 and watch wrestling. Them was the days. Yeah, man, I'm old. Well, I ain't old, man. I'm only 43. But yeah, Sega, man. Sega Genesis, man. NBA Live 95, man. That was my game. I definitely appreciate this. You gave me the answers I needed, you and Vic. All right, 10-4, Cornelius. I appreciate you checking in. Mark, you top 5 dead or alive in this game. Himothy, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. This is what I was talking about. Isolation. People want to live the fast life, but business, it takes time to be successful. Definitely takes time. It takes time. Shout out to D Jackpot. It takes time. Success doesn't come overnight. I think when people think about being successful coming in, is where that anxiety kicks in. See, I never had to deal with that. So that's why I constantly thank God for the way that I was introduced into the space. It was just a back against the wall situation. I never knew moving or final mile trucking or moving or none of that was nothing that never crossed my mind. It was being in the right place, looking at the right thing at the right time, light bulb pop. If you watched my live stream last night or go back and watch that, that'll tell you the story on what led me into the space. And I titled it Why I Chose a Box Truck Over the Rat Race. And that's going to tell you why I chose box truck and how I got into it. But I'm glad that I came in from a back against the wall situation, because a lot of the anxiety, the people who say, you know what, I want to start a box truck business, who know what they want to do, I didn't have to deal with none of that. I didn't have to deal with none of the stress of going into something with a plan, knowing what I'm starting and trying to make it into success. I came in with a back against the wall situation, put an ad up, somebody called me, and I did it from a hustle standpoint, grassroots, utilizing what I had and working my way up from there. So I didn't have those stresses of it's gotta work. It went from me doing it to it working to me turning it into a business. And by that point, when I turned it into the business, it was already working. I was forced to turn it into a business. The Illinois Commerce Commission forced me to do that because they caught me operating illegally and gave me a $750 ticket. So it forced me to go the right legal. And when they caught me, when they stopped me, I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. I didn't know that, you had to get a license. I didn't know shit about shit. So once they gave me that ticket and said, hey, you can't be out here moving people without a license, this regulated. Boy, don't you know where you at? This is the state of Illinois. We need a piece of that. It's regulated here. You better go do your research here. Take this $750 ticket with you, pimp. So I had to go research that. God damn, I'm nervous and shit. I'm gonna tell that story. Oh, I got a bunch of stories to tell. But I'm gonna say that for one of them episodes. Man, what was going on right here when everybody was saying, damn, 100, man, you going to have enemies. This is the truth. God, this is good. What was I talking about right here? Oh, that's what I was talking about, the woman. Everybody was like, damn, 100. Damn, this is good. This is the truth. 100. Okay, that's what I was talking about, the woman. All right. Yeah, this was a good live, y'all. This was a good live. If y'all notice that numbers and viewers has gone down significantly on YouTube, it's just not with me, it's with everybody across the board. Even like some of the crypto people I watched, they was complaining why the numbers go down during the holidays. I noticed that last year around this time. So I appreciate people that are tuning in to these live streams. I appreciate the people who are watching the replays, and I'm gonna continue to put out more content. Make sure y'all go tag Kirk whenever Kirk go live. I want y'all to go flood his live streams with hashtag bring the Wiseman back. We're gonna get the Wiseman show back. So whenever Kirk go live, I need y'all to go in there and do hashtag bring the Wiseman back. Hashtag bring the Wiseman back. I'm gonna be looking to see too. We gotta get the Wiseman show back. We're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back. It's gonna be back next year. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.